Okay, so I didn't want everybody to just be sitting there waiting, being bored. So y'all know I started talking to the three people that was already there in the waiting room. I started talking to them, making conversation, making them laugh and everything. And then y'all, it is a piece of fur or something on my face. I feel it. Y'all probably can't see it, but I feel it because Chi Chi was throwing her toys at me. But anyways, so I was like, man, it is hot in here. And then, the three people in the room, they started laughing. And then my teammate, she was like, you're not hot. And honestly, I wasn't hot. I was cold. Y'all know I'm always cold. She was like, you're cold. I was like, what? Why you say that? She said, because I know you always cold. I was like, well, yeah, true. And she said, plus you shaking. I said, girl, I'm always shaking. And she was like, well, yeah, I know because of the MS. She said, but you shaking like you cold shaking. I was like, oh yeah, I am cold. So then the three people, they started laughing. And I was like, but I am cold. But at the same time, y'all look like y'all hot. They was like, yeah, we are hot. And I was like, well, I'm hot, but I'm cold because it's cold in this room to me. And then, you know, we were just cracking jokes and laughing. Everybody in there, the receptionist, she was laughing. And then, they started calling people name. And this one girl who had just walked in, they called her name. Before I could have a reaction to they calling the girl who just walked in name, my teammate, she was like, holla, holla, holla. She was like, we was here before her. And then they was like, the receptionist was like, she said, yeah, you Mrs. Hill, right? I said, right. She said, oh yeah, you go first. So they called me in there and I went in there. So it was clean in there and everything. So I do appreciate this. I went inside the room and the dentist came in. She introduced herself. She was like, hi, my name is, y'all know I'm not good with names. We're just going to say dentist. She said, hi, I'm your dentist. And she was like, what brought you in? What you want done? And I was like, I just want to get my teeth clean. And she was like, that's it? I said, yeah, that's it. I just want to get my teeth clean. And she was like, okay. So she left out, and another woman came in. I guess one of her helpers or something of that sort. So they came in, and she was like, follow me. And I followed her, and we went to this room, and she made me. She was like, stand right here. She said, open your mouth, put this thing in your mouth. So I was like, okay. So I put it in my mouth, and then the machine started spinning around me. Like, at the other, when I went to the dentist office 6 months ago, the same thing happened. The machine went all the way around and did my x-rays of my head. So then she was like, okay, follow me. So I followed her into another room, and she was like, sit in this chair. She said, we're going to do some more x-rays. I was like, some more? She was like, yeah. So she was like, just sit in the chair, lay your head back. I laid my head back, and then she was putting these little things in my mouth, and she was like, say, ah. And I was saying, ah, and I was, she was like, I'm taking pictures. So she was taking pictures with this thing in my mouth, this machine that will hold my mouth open. So then, after she did that, she, so after she took pictures and everything. She was like, okay, the doctor gonna come in and talk to you. I was like, okay. So she left, and then the doctor came in, and she was like, turn behind you, and she said, you're gonna see your x-rays, and you're gonna see the pictures that we took. So she showed me my mouth, like the inside of my mouth and everything. And she was like, "You have wisdom teeth." I was like, "Oh, here we go again." Every time I go to a dentist, they always talk to me about my wisdom teeth because they want me to get my wisdom teeth removed. So she was like, "Yeah, you have wisdom teeth," and I was like, "I know." And she was like, "You need to get them removed." I was like, "Why?" She was like, "Because you don't use them." I was like, "I do use them." She was like, "No, you don't." And she showed me my X-rays. She said, "See, they're just there, but they're too far back for you to use them." And she was like, "You need to get them removed because they could get in the way." I was like, "In the way of what?" She was like, "Of anything." And she said they're taking up space and they can push your other teeth to move and you know make your other teeth be loose and make them fall out. And I was like, "Oh yeah, really?" She was like, "Yeah." She said, "But," she said, "your teeth are really, really white." She was like, "What do you brush with?" I was like, "Toothpaste and a toothbrush." And she started laughing. And I was like, "Nah, but for real, with Crest, I use Crest toothpaste, and I said I have a toothbrush." And she was like, "Do you have an electric toothbrush?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "When you put it in your mouth," she said, "Do you do it on each tooth?" I was like, "Yes." Or she said, "Or do you do like my son and do like this with your electric toothbrush?" I said, "Nah, I do it on each tooth, whatever." And she was like, "Okay, good job." She said, she said, "That's why your teeth are so white because you're using your electric toothbrush." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then she said, "Do you floss?" I was like, "Yes, I floss." She said, "What kind of floss you use?" I was like, "Whatever's on sale." I said, "Is there a special kind of floss I'm supposed to use?" And she was like, she said, "You could use the regular string floss, but she said it's better to use the pick floss so you can reach the places that your hands can't reach, whatever." So I was like, "Okay." And she said, "But you're doing a good job." She was like, "But you still have your wisdom teeth." I was like, "Yes, I do." And she said, "I'm finna check inside your mouth and check out your wisdom teeth." I said, "Okay." So she told me to lay back, and then she was, checking my mouth, and she started, cleaning my teeth. And then her little helper came in there, and, one person was on this side, and the other person was on this side. They were cleaning my teeth. So when they finished and everything, she said, "Okay, she said, your wisdom teeth are still there." I said, "Yes, they are." And she said, "But," she said, "you have a cavity." I was like, "I have a cavity?" She was like, "Yeah, you do." I said, "I have a cavity where?" She said, "In your wisdom tooth." I said, "I have a wisdom tooth that has a cavity in it." She said, "Yeah." I said, "So when this happened?" She said, "What you mean?" I said, "When did I get this cavity?" She told me, "I don't know." She said, "When the last time you been to the dentist's office?" And I told her, I said, 6 months ago. And she said, "Oh yeah?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Okay, well," she said, "Do you eat a lot of candy?" I said, "No." She said, "You drink a lot of juice?" I said, "No." I said, "I drink water." She was like, I just started asking me all these questions, but the answer was no to all of them. So I asked her again. I said, "How I get a cavity?" She said, "Well, different things can cause a cavity." And she said, if you don't get your wisdom tooth moved, that cavity can make the tooth, in front of it. It can make it worse, and then that tooth have to get removed. And she was like, "If you have cavities, you have to get the cavities removed." So y'all know I've been trying to hold on to these wisdom teeth forever. And she kind of convinced me. She was like, because if you keep your wisdom teeth, and she said sometimes the wisdom teeth, they can force your other teeth to move and whatever. She said a lot of stuff. So she convinced me. I was like, okay, I'll get them removed. I said, so is it gonna hurt? She was like, no, it's not gonna hurt. She was like, you're not gonna feel anything. You're gonna be numb. I said, but when I come to, am I gonna be hurting? She was like, we're gonna give you some pain medicine. I said, hold up, but I'm allergic to a whole lot of pain medicine. And she was like, well, yeah, I saw your paperwork, but we're not gonna give you none of that. I was like, but that's the good stuff. That's the stuff I'm gonna need for the pain. So, she was like, yeah, it is the good stuff, but she said we have other stuff that'll work for the pain. I said, okay. I said, you can remove my wisdom teeth. She was like, well, what we're gonna do is just take one out right now, and then she said you're gonna come back next week and we'll take out another one. I was like, why you gotta space it out like that? And she was like, well, she said we're gonna go over the prices with you. I was like, ooh, it must cost a lot. So she left and she came back with the paperwork, and she showed me how much my insurance would cover, and she told me how much would be left to pay. Bae. So my insurance, they cover the teeth cleaning, right? And that is it. That is it. They just pay for me to get my teeth clean. But as far as getting my wisdom teeth pulled, they don't cover that. So I said, so how much would it be to get them pulled without the insurance? She told me the price. I was like, I said, I ain't be able to do it. She said, why? I said, I don't have any money like that. She was like, you don't have no money? I was like, no, I don't have no money. She was like, okay. She said, what if we did a payment plan? I said, even if you did a payment plan, I wouldn't be able to pay on that payment plan because I don't have any money. She was like, okay. She said, what if I pay for one of them? I said, okay. If you pay for one, and then what would happen? Woo, excuse me. Thank you. Uh, my bad, child. Y'all know I got allergies. So I was like,